Okay, so in this video, I'll be going over how to solve systems of equations by using the substitution method. So this method is one of the most useful methods for systems of two equations with two unknown variables. So how does the substitution method work? Well, the main idea here is that we need to solve one of the equations for one of the unknown variable and then substitute the result into the other equation to solve for the second unknown variable. So as you can see on this paper, we have the example where we're given two systems of equations, 2x plus 3y which equals 5 and x plus y which equals 5. So now we need to solve this by using the substitution method. Okay, so now we want to solve one of the equations for either x equals or y equals. So we have 2x plus 3y which equals 5 and x plus y which equals 5. So from these two equations, we're going to pick the one that looks the simplest. So we can either solve for x or y. So the one that for me seems the simplest one is the second one, x plus y which equals 5, because here the coefficients for x and y is just 1. So in order to solve for x, we can just bring y to the other side. Or if we want to solve for y, we can just bring x to the other side. Simple. If we picked this one here, we would have to divide, bring the 3y over there, and then we would have to divide by 2, which is just more longer and it can get complicated because there's fractions in there. Okay, so let's take the second equation. Let's number them. And let's solve for x. So we have x plus y equals 5, right? And now we want to solve for x. That is, we want x to be on the left-hand side of the equal sign and y to go to the other side of the equal sign. So in order to do that, we're going to minus y. This is y minus y is 0. So we have x equals 5 minus y. Okay, now let's move on to step 2. So step 2 is that we're going to substitute the solution that we got from our first step. So x equals 5 minus y and substitute it. So plug it in into our first equation right here, 2x plus 3y equals 5. So wherever there's an x in the first equation, we're going to put in 5 minus y. Alright, so we have 2x plus 3y equals 5. And from our first step, we have x equals 5 minus y. So wherever there's an x in this equation right here, we're going to put in 5 minus y. We're going to plug it in. So we have 2. X is 5 minus y, so 5 minus y plus 3y equals 5. So now we just have to solve for y. Okay, so when we substituted 5 minus y into x, we have 2 times 5 minus y plus 3y equals 5. So now we just need to solve for y. So that is, we need to simplify this equation. That is, from this part, we need to FOIL, add like terms, and solve for y. So let's begin. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times negative y is just negative 2y. Then we have the plus 3y equals 5. So negative 2y and plus 3y are like terms, so we can add these, which is 3y minus 2y is just 1y. So plus y equals 5. So since we want our y variable to be on the left-hand side of the equal sign, we're going to take 10 to the other side and just solve for y. So in order to do that, we got to do minus 10. Minus 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. Then we have y equals 5 minus 10 is negative 5 right there. Alright, so now we know y equals negative 5, and our final and last step would be to find our second unknown variable, which is x. So we have, when we rearranged the second equation, right, we were able to get x equals 5 minus y. So simply we can just substitute in y, so which is negative 5, into here and directly get x. Or we can use these two equations that were given and pick any of them. It doesn't matter. I would always go with the one that's simple. So the second one, like I said before, and you can just put in x plus minus 5 equals 5 and solve for x. It's just this one is already rearranged right here with x equals negative 5. So basically you just have to do the math. Here you would have to take the y to the other side, but in this case it's already done for us, so I would always go with this one, less work. Okay, so now let's do that. So we know y equals negative 5, and from the two equations we have 2x plus 3y equals 5 and x plus y equals 5. So these are our systems of linear equations. So from this second equation we rearranged it and got x equals 5 minus y, right? So now we can just substitute in y in here and solve for our x variable. So 5 minus, remember to carry the minus, and we have minus 5, so bracket minus 5, x equals, so this minus and minus becomes a positive, so x equals 10. So our solution then we can write down is for x comma y, it is 10 comma negative 5. So this is how to solve systems of linear equations by using the substitution method. Hope this helps you guys out. Make sure to subscribe and like the video. Thank you.